Airline Manager 4. So I've been playing the game for a couple of years, and what I'm going to do today is going to be an example of what happens once you've been playing the game for a long time. I've got lots of planes, lots of hubs, lots of routes. All of my staff is trained. I've done all the stock. So basically what I did today, you go to company and you go to staff and you go to training, and you see over here it says hangar training increases passenger training slots. If you have training points, you might want to do this. I can do it. I've got enough training points to do it 5 more times. I'm going to be able to buy an additional 6 planes. It takes 24 hours before you can try again. So that is something that you're going to want to do once in a while. So the next thing is, if you go to your hubs and you scroll all the way to the bottom, these are the new hubs: Indonesia, Christmas Island, Paraguay, Namibia, Windhoek, which I don't think is that good of a hub, and Trujillo I don't think is that good of a hub. So basically I'm going to be working on these hubs at the bottom here. I decided I would start with Paraguay. You notice that some of them are only 18,000 kilometers, 16,000, 17,000. Those are too low, which means the ticket demand, these routes are just incomplete. These aircraft were ferried over here, and they don't have a full route, so the ticket prices are too low. Over here you've got 2 aircraft that are going to the same location, which means the other location might be a hub. We're on SGAS, and it's going to Shanghai. So I've got 2 going to the same location. 7913 is the ticket price. Not perfect, but it's above my minimum. So I'm going to skip the next plane, and then we're going to look at this one over here. Oh, I hit the wrong button, so I'm going to have to go back. There is no option to go back. We're going to go to hubs, and I'm going to scroll down, go to Paraguay, go to the 3rd entry. It doesn't have a ticket price, which means that it was probably ferried here, and I'm pretty sure that 17.89 is too low, and you see it's got 0, which means it was a ferry flight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do reroute, and you know it's going to go to Asia. So I'm going to send it over here somewhere, and then I do a stopover. It's going to end up over here somewhere. I don't know where. So we'll try over here, and then you click. It says 10,000 and 10,000. That's 20,200. That is not the range that's going to show up in game. 19.58, that's a very good price. It says 20,287 for the distance. The demand, 460,248. As long as you have like 200 on each side, you're good. So this price is really good. I'm going to create the route. It's possible I can fly 2 planes on this route. So then you're going to look at your demand. I got 129, 160, which fits in. I could fly another aircraft. I got a good price. Everything's good. This, I'm going to depart it. Not going to make any money. And the reason why it's not going to make any money is because I'm not running marketing. So it's going to make, like 2.4 million. But I will run the marketing later. You want to do it to get it in the air so that the route is set and it will automatically do everything properly the next time you play. Okay, so this is it right here, the 20,287. So I'm going to fix this one over here. The demand looks good. The price is too low. $0 means it was a ferry flight. We're going to reroute. Going to hit international route. Going to go to the same city, which is here in Uganda. And then I'm going to click stopover. So because the cargo went to here, this is probably going to be a good route. 8,068, that's really good. Around 8,100 is where it's going to max out. I think you might be able to get up to 8,200, but I'm not sure. The demand. This is excellent. I could easily fly 2 routes. So I'm going to create the route. I'm going to go on details. And I need to check the seat layout based on the demand. So basically, you take this number, the 119, and you cut it in half. And then you take the 248 and cut it in half, and the 920 and cut it in half. So I'm going to go to maintenance, and I'm going to go to modify, and I'm going to bring this over. The 119 in half is 60, and I'm going to use the keyboard to bring it down to 59, and then I'm going to bring it back to 60. The 248 divided in half is 125. I'm going to bring this down to 120. We'll do 124. Now you can go over. The 119 divided in half is 60. I could probably put 62 or 64, no problem. And then you could kick this up. This is 124. You could probably do 134. This is going to be fine. 172. Plus there is around 750 left. So you could do another plane if you wanted to. And then I'm going to hit modify. This cannot depart right now because it's going to take a few hours to do the modification. Now keep in mind, I know if you watch my videos, you see me do this over and over again. This is what you're going to be doing later in the game. And you check the distance. It's 20,287. This is Shanghai. This is a passenger aircraft. I think I can do better than the 7481. I'm going to hit international route. Go back to Uganda. You can really go anywhere, but for consistency, I'm going to use Uganda. And then I'll do a stopover. This is where the other flights were going. Like I said, I could do 2 if I wanted to. I'm going to check this one here. 8041, that's really good. The demand is lower for the first class or business class or whatever it is, but it's better for the medium class and it's better for the passenger, which means I can do 2 because it takes 24 hours to do a round trip. This is good for 2 round trips. Okay, the other thing you're going to want to do, you're going to look at this area. You draw a line between these 2 hubs and you deviate from that line. So you got this one, this one, this one, and then you start to deviate more, you're probably going to move into lower prices. This one needs to be modified for the seat layout. You can see it's all 600. So we're going to go to maintenance and modify. And then you take the 86 divided by 2, it's 43. Using the keyboard. I could kick it up to 44. I'm just going to do 40. You know what? I'll do 44. Okay. So you bring it down to 43 and then you move it back to 44 so that you get the maximum seating with the other seats. The 348 is going to be 174. Bring it to 173 and then hit 174 and you get the maximum seats over here. If you don't do that, you see the seats go down, but it still says 174. So you want it to be 120 and 174. Then you hit modify. Going to go back to the hub. This is a good hub. Okay, we're going to do reroute. Going to look for Uganda. It's not showing me any of the pips. So I'm going to pick this one over here. Do a stopover. This, of course, might end up being a better route. So I did these two. I did this one over here. Oh, I can't believe it did that. Got to go back to the hub. Sometimes you got to go through this. And then pick this one and then reroute international. I'm going to go to here and then click stopover. And we're missing the pips over here and the one over here in Japan. I'm going to pick this one. $79.98, so that's a little bit less. Demand is good for the business class. I want to get a flight into here. Your only choice is to try again or to do it manually. Now I see them, right? Let me try again. I'm going to go back to Paraguay. If it doesn't work this time, I will do it manually. So you do it manually. You know you're going to Uganda, right? So go to Uganda. You can pick any airport. Then you do the stopover, and then you pick Taiwan. And then you pick Taipei. And then auto price $81.38. That's an amazing price. Unfortunately, the passenger demand is low. That means not even one round trip. So I can't do this city. I'm going to have to go back and pick a different city. We'll do Taipei. 81.26. It's a great price, and the demand is good. Now keep in mind that does mean that if you get the hub Taipei and go back to Paraguay, you're going to get the same price. I think I used to have Taipei or something that begins with an M, and I sold it because I didn't like it. Man King or something. So now we're going to go to maintenance because I want to check. Oh, look at that. Don't have any of this. I want to check my seating. The 108 from F class, divide that by 2 is 54. So I'm going to bring this to 54, go down to 53, and then 54. And then the 554, you divide it in half, I'll get the 219. That means I can do another flight on that route. It looks like there's going to be 4 to 10 routes from this hub that I can do. Looking at these numbers, right? So we're going to check this one. And go to here. 7913 can definitely beat 7913. I'm going to go to my fleet. Look at what's parked. There's going to be nothing else here in Paraguay. But, oh, there's 2 over here. These are cargo. So we're going to do these 2 cargo flights. And I will do the international route. It's usually kind of better do Uganda and then anything, and then click stopover, and then do Taiwan. And then for the airport, pick. I had Makung City, but I didn't like it. 1972, that's really good. And you look at the cargo demand, 515, 554. That's amazing. These aircraft are new. So I want to do all of these options, and I'm going to keep it at the default setting. You really want to kind of put it half and half for this particular one. So I'm going to do 140, 140. So now the other thing is, you see how it says 144 and 143? And then it has 400 as the remainder and 777 as a remainder. You really don't want that so much, because it cannot do a partial 1,000. It only does a complete 1,000. So I'm going to adjust one of them so that they're more rounded off to the nearest 1,000. So now, if I do it at this number, 14,035, they're both going to round off to 144,000, which means that when I pay for the marketing, I'm probably going to get a better value than if I didn't do it. And then I'm going to hit the modify button. I can run another aircraft on the exact same route. So I have this one. I'm going to do Uganda, which is going to be the stopover. And then I'm going to do Taiwan. And then I'm going to try a different one. $19.52 is a good number. the cargo capacity, 168 and 313, it's good. But it's a little tight. I'm going to see what happens. We'll go to details and we'll do maintenance. Do modify. Click this, this, and this. And then you're going to take the 168 and divide it in half as 80. And then the 313 divided in half is 170. Or 160. So basically, there's not enough demand to do a round trip. So I'm going to skip it, and I'm going to reroute. Hit stopover, and then do Taiwan. This is 192.69. The price is good. Not enough. I'm going to go back. Check the next city. 1957 is good. The demand is too low. Hit back. Next. Auto price. Demand is too low. This one, the demand is low, but the price is good, 1969. Demand is too low. This one, the demand is up there. 400, 500. Okay, we're going to go with this one. Go to details. Go to maintenance, go to modify, hit these three options. They're not financially worth it. I mean, it's 60 million you got to pay. You're not going to make your money back. Okay, so the 413 divided by 2 is going to be 205. And the 102 divided by 2 is 50. So you can see that I'm in the ballpark. So the 205 is actually going to be 206. Or 207, and I'm going to even out. I'm going to bring the 53,600. I'm going to bring it up to 54,000. And then you see it's 52. Now it's 207,035 and 54,035. And you double this, and it's 414, and you double that, and it's 108. So it's in the ballpark. Then I'm going to hit modify. So I finished for Paraguay. And I determined I can bring in a few more cargo aircraft, and I can bring in a few more passenger aircraft. So I'm going to go to fleet. I'm going to go to order. And I will go to, this is not, A380 800. Can only buy one. Going to check the engine. That's $18.90. I think you want to get the one with the best fuel consumption. And the reason why is because the time, which is the speed, doesn't matter to me because I'm just going to launch it and forget about it. I'm going to leave the seat configuration because it's probably going to be 600 anyway if you do the same route as an existing route. And I'm going to hit order. It won't let me do another passenger aircraft, so I'm going to do a cargo aircraft. You can only do one at a time. The AN225, you're only going to get that if all of your fleet does the same distance or the same time. If you mix it, you're going to spend a lot of money on advertising. It's going to be, the advertising might end up being a lot more costly. So I'm going to buy this, get the fuel efficient engine. I'm going to put it for Ascuncion. And I'm going to leave the configuration as it is right now because I'll probably change it later, and I'm going to order it. And I'm at the limit for cargo aircraft. I'm going to go to my fleet. I'm going to turn off the passenger. Okay, guess it's not showing it. Maybe the database is slow. Okay, are there any cargo aircraft over here that I want to get rid of? I could get rid of a couple of these airplanes. I could get rid of some of these smaller planes like the Honda Jet and the Cessna. So I'm going to sell the Cessna. I'm going to sell the Legacy. The Legacy I probably was testing. You know what? It's just a waste of time to test them. Why bother? Just better to just not know. There's people who have double the fleet size of me because they've bought so many hangars. Okay, so I can buy a bunch of aircraft if I want. I've only got like 2 more passenger aircraft. So I'm going to get A380-800. I'm going to put the fuel efficient engine. I am going to put it to Ascuncion. I am going to order 5 of them. And I'm going to go to configuration and then order it. It's going to increase my staff, which means that my salaries are going to increase. And I put them up to 100%. When I started playing today. Not going to depart my aircraft today. I don't need the money. So Paraguay is going to have those aircraft added. Christmas Island, there's a lot of planes that I have over here. It's not over here. It's parked for Christmas Island. But that's going to be a future video. So the other thing you're going to do, I think I've checked everything in Paraguay, and the demand is too low from what I recall in all the hubs. But anything that's in the area is going to get the same ticket prices going to Taiwan. I'm going to check my hubs just in case I have something in Taiwan already. And I don't think I do. It's going to cost, I could probably buy 7 more hubs, so I'm probably going to do it, and I'm going to strongly consider getting Taiwan, and obviously I'm going to have to test Manila also. This is Japan. Oh, that's Makung. I don't know why I didn't have any luck with it. This has got to be Hong Kong. I'm pretty sure Macau is Hong Kong. So I think this is Hong Kong right here. I guess you're not permitted to have it centered on the screen. Yeah, it says Hong Kong over here. This is probably a hub that has a lot of cargo, and this is one of the ones that I'm going to be investigating in a future video. Okay, so that is Paraguay, showing you some of the routes. Paraguay, Ascuncion. Paraguay is a good hub. Okay, if you have any questions or comments, please post below.